How many of y'all still no shave November? I know me and my family do. Yeah, I ain't washed my face yet even this morning, but I don't even care because I ain't here for that. Y'all know what? I was a wannabe. Growing up as a kid, I was a wannabe. And to think about that, and I was like, damn, you know what? I was a wannabe, but not because like how they say you want to be, like not because I thought something was cool. I didn't want to do these things because I thought they were cool. I wanted to do them because that's what I wanted to do. I was like, oh, I want to do that to make money. You know, I would love to do that and make money. That looks fun. That's how I thought about it at a young age. I wanted to sell drugs. I wanted to be a hitman. I wanted to be a hitman. Like, I wanted to kill people for bread. That's what I wanted to do when I was young. An assassin. I wanted to be a hitman, assassin. But I didn't want to do it for the government, though. I didn't want to be like a government official. I wanted to be like the Desperado or something like that. Like, I wanted to be the nigga in the hood, a nigga around, and I wanted to be like, kill snitches. That's what I wanted to do. Like, I wanted to be the dude who killed the nigga that was about to go to trial and snitch on the crew and got paid for it. That's what I wanted to do as a youngin'. Like, okay, yeah, I want, or just people that's just not gonna do right, or if you just got somebody that's just gonna this person gonna just keep on raping kids, or they just gonna keep on doing dumb shit. I want to be a vigilante of sorts. I ain't want to take nobody to jail. Like, I'm like, shit, if you ain't gonna act right, then you might as well just get the fuck up out of here. You might as well just get you up out of here. Because all you're gonna do is bring terror to people. So you might as well just get you up out of here. Like, like that. You don't need to go to jail. Jail is for people who make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I did something wrong, and you gotta sit and you gotta punish and you gotta sit and you gotta get punished. But you people, you are obviously just going to keep on doing what you're doing. Like, you're not going to stop. So you need to just go ahead and get killed. So I just wanted to be that guy that just killed them. You know what I'm saying? If somebody was in the hood and they got caught and they was gonna snitch or they about to snitch on the whole crew because they got caught and get people brought down, I wanted to be that dude that killed them. That's what I wanted to do at a young age. Like, that's how I visualize 12, 13, 14, 15. That's what I wanted to do. Like, and play football. Uh, you know, um, that's what I wanted to do. So that's why when I say I was a wannabe, like, that's what I meant. Like, and not because I thought it was cool. Again, I mean, of course, I thought it was cool. Like, it's a cool job that I want to do, but it wasn't like, it wasn't. I was just like, yeah, I just want to get money like that. That looks like how I want to make some money, and they make good money. That's how I thought about it. You know what I'm saying? Sell drugs and be a hitman. That's what that was my envision and my thought of being a kid. But that's why it's important that God doesn't give us all the desires of our heart. Because if He did, shit, hell, who knows what I would have been through at a youngin'. But and that's a beautiful thing about also just the things about life and how we and how we and how things happen. Because God moves and He maneuvers us in ways, and every little thing that happens, it happens for us, not to us. So it's like all these little things is just it's just amazing how they all add up. And that's why it's important that we don't, like, that you be thankful for where you are, and you don't like have a negative opinion or negative thoughts on the things that you've been through and you came through in your life, because without all that you wouldn't be the great person and dope person that you are today. So You know, that's what that is. You know, and it's like I just be thankful. I just wanted to say this, and I'm thankful for the things that God didn't give me in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm thankful for Him doing things because it's like I'm thankful for Him not giving me the vision and the foresight to really go out and really look extra deep for the shit. You know what I'm saying? Because like y'all gotta understand the difference. Like around that time between growing up in West Virginia, where I was, you know, where I did most of my early growing up between age 6 and 12, in West Virginia in Charleston, crackheads look like crackheads. You know, you saw a crackhead in West Virginia in Charleston, you knew there was a crackhead. Like, oh, that's a dope fiend. He's a fiend. You know what I'm saying? Like they look like fiends. You know what I mean? In Detroit though, it was a little bit different. In Detroit, fiends were nurses. They worked at Ford and Chrysler, and a fiend pull up in a Cadillac. But if you don't know, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, there were pockets in Detroit where fiends look like fiends, of course, but where I was living at, that wasn't the case. So I didn't see it. You know what I mean? Like, but the people I grew up with and the other people in my neighborhood that grew up there, they knew where they were, but I didn't. I didn't see it. And my main friend group wasn't into that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the main people I grew up with, they wasn't into that type of shit. You know, but that's what I wanted. You know, like as a youngin', like at that age, that's what I wanted. Cause I wanted some money to be able to buy Jordans and Guess jeans and Timberlands and Champion hoodies. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember I wanted some fucking jeans, a Pittsburgh Steelers jersey, and and some Timberlands so bad. Nigga, the Rams jersey, nigga, I wanted that shit so bad, but I was like, I didn't know, so the only way I knew how to get it at that time was to sell drugs. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to sell drugs, like, but it's just that I didn't see it. I didn't see it because in West Virginia, that's why I be like, man, God is good, because God told my mom to move us out of West Virginia at that time. Because had I stayed in West Virginia at that time, I would have been with the homies. All my homies down there that was selling dope, that was doing that shit, I would have been right in the midst with them. Right there with them. Right there with them. Because everybody getting money, I'm right there. All the homies was doing it. Hell, when we went down there to visit, I played with them. You know what I'm saying? Got my little fake hustle on with the homie one time. Yo, so I know had we stayed there, I would have been right in the midst of all of that with them. But we left. And we came to Detroit. That's why God do what God be doing. Because God knows that I stayed there, it would have been totally different. My life would have been totally different. Because I'd have been right along with them dudes. Like, I had homies that didn't fuck around, but I also had a lot of homies that did fuck around. And I would have been with the homies that did fuck around a lot more. Because that shit interested me a lot more. So, that's where I would have been. And when we moved to Detroit, that element wasn't around. I didn't see that element. I didn't see that element in the hood where we grew up in Detroit. Because from my eyes, I'm looking for them West Virginia crackheads. I ain't see them. But the homies that was from up there, they knew they knew who all the crackheads was. That's why years later, and I was like, damn, you was doing that? Like, damn, I ain't know you was doing that. Like, if I known you was doing that shit back then, I would have been fucking with you. I ain't know you was doing that shit. Damn. You know, but that's good how God works. That's why God made me blind to it. Because if I hadn't seen it, I would have went to it. I would have been like, oh yeah, I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with that. That's what I'm trying to do. I wouldn't have been on Carlin. I would have been off in one of them other hoods where I knew niggas was doing shit at. I ain't know. That's just, it's that simple. I didn't know. And it's good that I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And even the one time I made a concerted effort, I was like, fuck this shit. I think it was the homie, one of the homies from school. If one of my school homies ever see this, and this was them, and they remember this, I remember. I want to say it was the homie Tim, but I'm not quite sure. I really think it was Tim. If Tim, if you remember this and you hear this, if you remember this story and this is true, then confirm this shit. He was going to join a gang, join a folk gang. And I remember he was like, shit, we gotta go get jumped in. And I was like, jumped in? I'm like, I gotta let you, you mean I gotta let people jump me? And he like, yeah, that's the love. And I'm like, I don't need love. Like, I want to sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got love at the crib. My family, I got family. I don't need that. I want to sell drugs and do dirt. Like, that's the only reason I'm joining this shit. Like, I just want to sell some drugs and kill some snitches and rats and shit, and and police. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's shit. I ain't need love. So I'm not about to, but I just couldn't see letting niggas jump me. I was like, no, that don't make sense to me. I'm good. I'm straight. And that was kind of the end of it from there. That was like, after that, it was just like, fuck it, I guess this ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? From that point is when I was just like, fuck it, I guess it just ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. Then I asked my big homie, like, what's up? And he was like, nah, dog, I'm not putting you in that shit. Because that shit ain't, nope. And from there, I just said, fuck it. I guess I got to figure something else out to get money and how to get rich. Because I don't know how else I'm supposed to get rich. You know what I'm saying? So, I just thank God for that. You know the crazy thing about this shit is, the crazy thing about me is, had I known and had I understood why they did the jumping in back then, I would have did it. I can say that today. Even at 42 years old, I can say that at 14 and 15 years old, had I understood the real, like, had I understood the real reason, like, not, just the love, had I really understood the total, I know it's a love, but it's a lot deeper than, it's a lot more to that. Had I understood that, then I would have went on with it. And I would have showed them niggas I had hands, and I would have probably beat a few of them niggas who tried to jump me. And they'd be like, oh, this nigga right here is a fucking for real. You know what I'm saying? And I know I probably could have, because niggas can't fight. Most niggas can't fight, so out of them 4 or 5 or 6 niggas that would have jumped me, half of them niggas wouldn't be able to fight, so they probably would have got, I would have busted out and beat their ass. And then they'd have been like, this nigga is serious. This the real nigga right here. This the God. You know what I'm saying? But had I understood that back then, I would have went. I would have like, okay, let's go with it. I would have went with it. And I would have let them niggas jump me in, and I would have been a folk. I'd have been running right here like, folks up. I would have been one of them niggas. Of course, not around my mom and them, so they didn't see me. I done hid all of that shit from the crib. I would have went home and took all that blue shit off, and I would have tucked my rags, and I would have hid all of that shit, because mama would have fucked. Because mama would have been like, oh, you in the gang now, nigga?